The Zephyrian High Command had made their decision with characteristic arrogance. One human ship, a single battered vessel called the Defiant, had destroyed 3 of their finest destroyers in the Kepler system. The audacity was unprecedented. No species had ever dared challenge the Zephyrian Empire's dominance, let alone succeed. Admiral Vextar stood before the holographic display, his 6 arms crossed in ceremonial contempt. The Defiant hung motionless in space, a mere speck against the cosmic void. Its hull bore the scars of countless battles, patched with crude human metallurgy that offended Zephyrian sensibilities. "Deploy the 7th Fleet," Vextar commanded, his voice echoing through the bridge of the dreadnought Cosmic Dominion. 3,000 vessels should suffice to reduce this pest to atoms. The bridge crew exchanged glances. 3,000 ships to destroy 1 human vessel seemed excessive, even by Zephyrian standards. But they had underestimated humans before, a mistake that had cost them dearly. Captain Sarah Chun sat in the cramped command center of the Defiant, watching the enemy fleet materialize from hyperspace. Her crew of 43 humans worked with mechanical precision, their faces grim but determined. They had been running for 6 months, ever since the massacre at New Geneva. "Captain," reported Lieutenant Torres from the sensor station, "I'm reading 3,000 Zephyrian vessels. They've got us surrounded in a perfect sphere formation." Chun allowed herself a bitter smile. "Just 3,000? I'm almost insulted." The truth was, the Defiant was dying. Her engines were held together by spare parts and stubbornness. Her weapon systems had been pushed beyond their limits. But she carried something more valuable than any weapon: the complete database of human tactical evolution, the sum total of humanity's greatest military minds, and most importantly, the location of every human colony that had survived the Zephyrian purges. The Zephyrians had made a fundamental error in their understanding of humans. They saw individuals, not the species. They counted ships, not resolve. They measured firepower, not ingenuity. "Open a channel to the Zephyrian flagship," Chun ordered. Admiral Vextar's image appeared on the main screen. His reptilian features twisted in what passed for amusement among his species. "Human, you are surrounded. Surrender, and your death will be swift." "Counteroffer," Chun replied, leaning back in her chair with deliberate casualness. "You have 30 seconds to withdraw your fleet before I show you why humanity doesn't surrender." The alien admiral's laughter was like grinding metal. "You face 3,000 ships with 1. Your species' capacity for delusion truly knows no bounds. 30 seconds, Admiral. I won't repeat myself." The channel closed. Chun turned to her tactical officer. "Initiate Protocol 7. Around the galaxy, sleeping subroutines buried deep in supposedly destroyed human vessels began to awaken. The Zephyrians had been thorough in their genocide, reducing human colonies to ash and claiming victory over each destroyed ship. But humans had learned something during their brief time among the stars: how to hide, how to wait, and how to make every death count. The Defiant had been broadcasting a coded signal for months, a signal the Zephyrians dismissed as navigation data. In reality, it was a wake-up call to every human ship that had ever faked its destruction, every colony that had gone dark to avoid detection, every human who had sworn that their species would not go quietly into extinction. "Lieutenant," Torres' voice cracked with emotion. "Captain, I'm reading response signals. My God, there are thousands of them. Across the galaxy, dead human ships dropped their stealth protocols. Mining vessels revealed hidden weapon systems. Colony ships that had fled to the galactic rim suddenly appeared on long-range sensors. Research stations that had been silent for months began broadcasting battle coordinates. But it wasn't just the ships. On every world where humans had walked, where they had died, where they had left even the smallest trace of their presence, something stirred. Automated factories began producing weapons. Sleeper agents activated. Even the wreckage of destroyed human vessels became deadly, their fusion reactors overloading on command to take enemy ships with them. Admiral Vextar watched his tactical display in growing horror. as thousands of red dots appeared throughout Zephyrian space. His empire, built over millennia, suddenly found itself under simultaneous attack from an enemy they thought they had exterminated. "This is impossible," he whispered. "We counted every human ship. We verified every kill." Chun's voice came through. "The comm system, calm and deadly. You counted wrong, Admiral. Humans don't fight wars, we fight vendettas. And you just declared one against our entire species." The battle for the Defiant lasted 18 minutes. When it ended, the 7th Fleet was scattered debris, and Captain Chun's ship hung broken in space, her crew dead at their stations. But their sacrifice had lit a fuse that would burn across the galaxy. The Zephyrian Empire fell within a standard year. Their worlds burned as human fleets emerged from hiding, carrying weapons forged in secret factories and fury honed by genocide. Every atrocity the Zephyrians had committed was repaid tenfold. Every human death was avenged by 100. Alien ones thought the other species of the galaxy watched in terrified fascination as humanity tore through their oppressors with methodical precision. The Zephyrians had made the mistake of believing that destroying human ships meant destroying human capability. They failed to understand that humans were not their ships, their colonies, or their infrastructure. Humans were their stories, their memories, and their unbreakable will to survive. When the war ended, the Galactic Council sent a delegation to negotiate with the human fleet. They found Admiral Martinez aboard the rebuilt Defiant, now serving as humanity's flagship. "What are your terms?" asked the Altarian ambassador, his voice trembling. Martinez looked out at the stars, where human ships now patrol former Zephyrian space. "Simple. Leave us alone, and we'll leave you alone. But understand this touched one human, threatened one human colony. Even think about harming our species, and we'll show you what 3,000 ships couldn't stop." The delegation left quickly, carrying with them a new understanding. They had thought the Zephyrians were the galaxy's apex predator. They were wrong. Humans didn't just fight to win. They fought to ensure their enemies could never threaten anyone again. The galaxy had sent an Armada to crush a single human ship. Instead, they had awakened something that would reshape the stars themselves. And in the depths of space, where the Defiant had made her last stand, a memorial beacon broadcast a simple message to any who would listen. Here guide 43 humans who refused to kneel. Their sacrifice lit the fire that freed the galaxy. Remember their names. Remember their courage. And remember humanity endures.